Loony, loony, loony.
What's going on, bro?
What it is, what it is not.
How's your week been?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about yourself?
Horrible, bro. Footy training every day.
Say that again?
Horrible. Kids footy training every day.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're just getting started with that. You got a whole nother, 3-4 months?
Oh, yeah. And then getting the rosters for the canteens and all that shit. Oh, no.
Do we really think this is the real Rory that just joined? No chance, right?
Hold on, let me look. Actually could be.
Uh-oh. All right, well, let's get into it.
I don't think so, but yeah. We'll see.
Then we'll get it cracking. Yeah. You know what time it is. Hoge time. Said I'm sitting on some Hoge and making moves on the low. With a DeFi currency that's ready to explode. Buckle up, let's hit the road. We headed to the land of Hoge. And we mean business when we Hoge stepping. Let's go hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. I'm Hoge stepping, yeah, I'm repping. Always out here on the grind. Hit up Hayes and chop it up. He said, "Keys, it's about that time." Hit him with a new one. Hit him with a new flow. So you know I had to tap in with Jimmy Lee. Boy, Shireen, no impressive. Here we go. Hoge music on the move, bro. Out the way, don't make a shove. Always giving out daps and hugs. No negativity, just light and love. Tell me how you want this to roll. You know we coming 100K strong. Always ready to buy the dip. And we in it for the long haul. When I was younger, my mama told me she had a dream. When I grew up, I would be the best that the world would see. Little did I know what this cold world had in store for me. Now I'm stepping on this blockchain for the world to see. Come follow my lead like the Pied Piper and you will see. This ain't no Doge, ain't no Crow, no ETH or no Soul. Making moves on the low. Game and take control, no paper hands, we got a hold. Hoge stepping FC. Hoge and making moves on the low. With a DeFi currency that's ready to explode. Buckle up, let's hit the road. We headed to the land of Hoge. And we mean business when we Hoge stepping. Let's hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. It's that Hoge step like jump 1-2, blasting off, shooting to the moon. Got the groove, got the vibe behind the scenes, straight on the ground. 500K for a top 5, inevitable. It just takes time. Pack your bag, you're about to fly into space. OG DeFi Hoge step, it could be a dance. On TikTok like Jersey racks, it's all TikTok and it's just a clock. Crypto games, it ain't a stock. Hoge swap, could switch it up. Can't stop the burn with fire trust. Can't stop the burn, I catch reflection. All about the Hoge, big keys impressing. All about the Hoge, I eat the dip. If the market's bare, I still don't trip. If the market's bare, then I go hunting. Serving up hoes that wrap my lunch and serving up home for you to feast. With a limited supply, so you should eat. No defeat, some is left. Hold my drink. Hoge steps, some OG shit like drinking 1486. Hoge steps in the land of hoes, kicking back, no comfortable. Hoge step with some real good vibes. Hoge step, cause now's the time. Hoge step, I stack my chips. DCA, I buy this. I'm sitting on some Hoge and making moves on the low. With a DeFi currency that's ready to explode. Buckle up, let's hit the road. We headed to the land of Hoge. And we mean business when we Hoge stepping. Let's hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step. We gon' hit on with that Hoge step.
Let's go.
That's a sick song, man.
It's so good. So good. Looney, I had a normal week this week. I got nothing exciting for you. No crazy stories.
Nothing? No shower pizza? Like, no.
Did you try the shower pizza?
No, I haven't been able to yet.
I would love for anyone to request to speak and tell me how it went down, but it was pretty good. No, I was just hit with the Hayden news, and that took a lot of my week and a lot of what we were doing. So let me just touch on that real quick. So before I get into the fun parts, let me just say thank you to everyone that reached out after hearing the news about our Hoge legend Hayden. Sadly, he needs us more than ever right now. I received an update from his wife this week and passed it on to the entire community on Reddit and Telegram. The comments were amazing, and so many people reached out to give him love and to donate to him and his family to help them through this extremely difficult time. If you've been here at Hoge, you all know Hayden, married, father of 2 young boys, and one of the most positive and driven individuals I've ever met. He was one of the most active community members we had for the last 3 years, and now he's in the battle for his life. The update I received on his condition is Hayden's been in the cardiac care unit for a few days. He was on a ventilator until Wednesday due to silent aspiration that filled his lungs. He has now been breathing on his own, but there are a lot of hurdles. He is fighting every day, and there are new hurdles every day. When, and I really want it to be when he gets out, he will likely need round-the-clock care and support. I know you and the community mean so much to him. I still can't believe this is where we are. Hayden is still fighting and willing to do anything and everything. What he has consented to put his body through in an effort for one more day is remarkable and so brave. If you read the post, you saw what we are doing as a community for him. We are mailing a care package of some custom-made stuff from the Hoge community. We are going through the wrap-up reports and finding his best quotes to edit into a video for his family. The man always spoke from the heart and dropped some serious wisdom on all of us. And lastly, we are donating to his family to allow them to spend as much time with him as possible while they have him here. I just received the details on the proper PayPal, Venmo, and ETH address from his wife, and we will make an official post for everyone that reached out to be able to donate to his battle. From everyone here at Hoge, Hayden, we give you all the strength and energy to help you win this battle and get more time with your family. We love you, brother. All right, everyone. Sorry to start with that, but he's a true Hoge legend that will be remembered forever in our Hoge lore. But so I'm going to get into the wrap-up report. I see that we got another Hoge legend here, Rory. Do we want him? Rory, do you want to speak first, or do you want me to do my part and then you want to jump in?
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to throw you off, but I'll hop in first if that's all right.
You got it, man. Congrats on the vote passing.
Hey, thanks, and thanks for the update on Hayden. It's really awful. I think we should really get a vote going to throw some cash to his family and whatnot. I think everybody would stand behind that. I would for sure.
Yeah, I mean everything he's done for Hoge and his love and passion for the community. I totally agree.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything prepared. I was just in the middle of making some pancakes and saw the notification and joined up. But big things happening. The OptiSwap acquisition. Obviously, we were pretty close to kind of being out of runway, as I put it at one point. We've got a bunch of dev work that we've been pounding on for months that got sponsored. I was saying that we got this outside sponsorship to do some, R&D work and break new ground on ICP gaming, which that was a whole story in itself. It's been a journey. Yeah, R&D grant. It was great because it let us try to break some new ground. We've got the game proved out, but we're waiting on integration from the ICP side as far as the chain key ERC20. It's one of those things that we could probably roll it ourselves if we spent time on it, but that's like trying to make your own Uniswap or so we've got gaming tech that's fully basically a layer that separates games from tokens from users, where game developers can bring their own game. Whoever wants to can bring their own token, and then you can plug it in and have it all work together. And we've got a proof of concept game, which is the action game Bulldog Blast. So part of that R&D was like seeing how far we could push the ICP blockchain as far as real-time or semi-real-time gaming goes. So creating an action game that is, I guess, subject to full-on blockchain finality, it was difficult. It was a serious headache for several months to be working on that. And honestly, I don't think it's the best. It's not the best suited for the format. I think for blockchain finality, you want something that is more explicitly turn-based, like an abstract strategy game or whatever. But we did the best we could. So imagine like a 5-second turn cycle in an action game. So the difficulty there is that if you want to decide what the next 5 seconds of action are going to be, then you have this window where everybody gets to say what they want to do next. And then that all gets locked in as part of the blockchain finality. And then the on-chain calculations happen to take physics forward, et cetera, and decide what the actual outcome of that is. So it's a tempo that is very unique. But there's no other game that has done something quite like this, where there's entire physics simulations happening on chain. So that's proved out. That's finished up and wrapped up. Bulldog Blast is complete as far as Dfinity cares. But as far as it relates to Hoge, there's still more things that need to be done. There's the actual ERC20 integration, which, as I was mentioning, is pending work on the ICP side. It's something that we have ideas about how we would do it, but we don't have funding to do it. And in fact, we don't really have, I guess it's out of scope for something we would propose to them because it's something so fundamental. And since they're working on the CK ERC20 and whatnot, it really makes the most sense to let them converge on a solution and then bring it into Hoge. And that's what we were lacking funding to do. So part of this this vote that passed for the OptiSwap contract acquisition gives us flexibility to have sort of billable dev funding to throw at this when the time comes. So it's great. I think it's a win-win for everyone. All the work that we did won't just have to go on the scrap heap. We're going to keep pushing forward and deliver something that works end to end.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Congrats. Communities are very excited.
Cool.
Now, how does the Hoge bridge work? Do we have to wait for chain key ERC20, or that's just like a standard bridge?
Yeah, no, we're waiting for that because that really is the right way to do it. Like we could sort of custom roll solutions, but probably just cut out. So for the sake of having something be completely standardized, completely consistent, we really want to wait for the chain key or 20. That's because any trading solution, like some order book exchange, for example, running on ICP, they're going to want that compatibility. And if we go in with that compatibility out of the gate, then we'll be, listed on these solutions and hopefully get that buy pressure coming from that ecosystem.
Yeah, from what I understand, that's their biggest hurdle in ICP is like token standardization, like picking the right way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few options, but it seems like the ERC20, just building off of that is going to be the way forward instead of doing these ICRC1 or whatever other standards that they've come up with, which are really just the same thing, but would require different kinds of interoperability for each one.
Makes sense. All right, exciting.
Yep.
Well, congrats again.
Yeah, thanks. I guess that's all I have to share about that. But good to hear from you guys. We'll talk soon.
All righty. Thanks for joining. That was a nice surprise.
Rory, the man himself.
I know he didn't even want to give any sneak peeks about active LP, but just be ready. It's coming. All right, let me get into it. What is going on, everyone? Oh no, it's all over. Everyone sell your crypto. Bitcoin's going to zero. Ha ha ha. Amazing the panic that sets in when Bitcoin has a slight correction. Today, Bitcoin hit $65,500, a price that hadn't been seen since all the way back on March 5th. Yeah, that was only 10 days ago. And in the same day, it went back over to $70,000. If you're not playing with leverage and longs and shorts, then this price action should not scare you. That Bitcoin dumpage took out over $660 million in Bitcoin longs in under 24 hours. The 24-hour volume on Bitcoin was over $200 billion. The Bitcoin volume math doesn't lie. The demand for Bitcoin is at an all-time high, while the supply available to be purchased is at an all-time low. We are going way north of $100,000 in the next few months. Many people much smarter than me say we will even hit that number before the halving in 36-ish days. It's an exciting time, and the weekends can always get a little wild. And luckily, the U.S. government aren't complete idiots and haven't sold any of their Bitcoin since July. And they hold about 210,000 Bitcoin at an average price of $29,600. So they're almost 250% in profit. Now, I'm not sure if the math actually works since the Bitcoin was seized from illegal activities and not actually purchased, but that's the numbers that they are out there giving. Last week, I told you about how MicroStrategy raised over $800 million by issuing convertible senior notes. Michael Saylor was able to borrow $800 million at a 0.65% interest rate. Yes, you heard that right. Michael Saylor was able to borrow $800 million at less than a 1% interest rate. And you know what he did with that money? MicroStrategy bought another 12,000 Bitcoin at $68,477 a Bitcoin. So as of 3/10/24, MicroStrategy holds 205,000 Bitcoin, acquired for $6.91 billion at an average price of $33,706 per Bitcoin. They're up over $7 billion on their Bitcoin position. And you know what Michael Saylor did 3 days later? He issued another $521 million worth of convertible senior notes, this time at a 0.84% interest rate. And I'll give you one guess what he's going to do with that money also. This is grade A financial jujitsu. Last Friday, their stock price was $1,433. This week, it hit $1,852. It's truly insane, and they are not even included in the S&P 500 yet. Ethereum had a pretty big upgrade this week as well, but also had a little bit of a pullback this week, going all the way up close to $4,100 and is now back around $3,800. This week, Ethereum raised their DenCun upgrade, which cut down the gas fees on their layer 2s drastically. I know. Many of you thought it would cut down the gas fees on the base chain, but sadly, that is not what this upgrade was for. ETH gas fees are still insanely high. Last week, I think they averaged around $92 per swap, which is absolutely insane. But this upgrade did come with a major gas reduction with their layer 2s. The projected gas fee changes are Optimism goes from 38 cents down to 4 cents. Arbitrum goes to 26 cents per transaction down to 3 cents. Polygon goes from 24 cents down to 2 cents. So those are some major reductions in gas fees. And supposedly the biggest beneficiary was Coinbase's layer 2 called Base, which now has gas fees for under a penny. So if you're a layer 2 on ETH, this may have just saved your chances of surviving this next bull run. But the problem remains. They are still competing with layer 1s that cost a thousandth of a penny to transact with and settle nearly instantly. If you tune in here, you're probably holding some Solana by now with all the knowledge I've dropped on you guys. Solana looks to be the consensus trade of this bull run, much like ETH was back in 2018. It's the black hole of crypto and is sucking major game-changing ecosystem projects onto its network. If you hold SOL, then you have seen the price action this week. It's gone from $137 to $186 a token. And Fire Dancer, which will take the network out of its beta state, isn't even set to go live for a bunch more months. Its all-time high is $260, but because of its token issue rate over the last 3 years, it has already surpassed its market cap all-time high this week, and it only sits at $186. So it has another 40% to go to break its all-time price high. I'm not even completely sure why it went so crazy this week. The only thing I can think of is that people are loving the meme tokens over there, so they need to own SOL to get them. But if anyone knows what the real reason is, let me know. But since we are on the topic of Solana meme tokens, let me get the only bad news out of the way first before getting into the insane week we had here at Hoge. The pervert doctor Boobaloo, who sends naked pictures of his patients when they're passed out on the operating table, him and his gang have launched a fake Hoge on the Solana blockchain. They have linked the official Hoge Telegram to their token as well. We are working on getting it resolved, and we'll be taking legal action if we have to. We know who Boo is, where he lives, where he works, and he is scamming people using the Hoge name. So if you see any weird links posted on Reddit or Telegram, do not click them. There's only one true Hoge, and that is ETH Hoge, and soon to be Hoge Bridge to Internet Computer Protocol. But speaking of the bridge to Internet Computer Protocol, Hoge officially has its own revenue stream. The Hoge community just passed one of our biggest votes in Hoge history. The vote was to purchase the swap revenue portion of the OptiSwap.pro for $55,000. The vote passed with an insane majority voting for the proposal. This vote was one of our largest turnouts. We hit quorum by 138%. With 98.48% voting for the purchase of the swap revenue. So now the more of our community that uses OptiSwap.pro to swap their Hoge, plus any other tax on transfer tokens, the Hoge DAO wallet will receive 0.5% on the trade. So the way this will work for collecting the volume fees going forward, once the agreement is signed and the ownership of the volume fee funds is in the possession of the DAO, we can then claim the fees to the wallet whenever we want. So depending on how this bull market goes, it will probably be an every month or every other month claim. And every time we do that, we will make a post detailing exactly how much ETH the DAO wallet earned in that period. The $55,000 will be paid out in 2 payments. Half after the transfer of the fee wallet to the DAO, and the other half after the delivery of the successful Hoge Bridge to ICP and the launch of the Web3 game Bulldog Blast. Yes, you heard that right. With this vote, the Hoge community doesn't just earn the swap volume fees performed through OptiSwap.pro, but we also receive a trustless, secure Hoge Bridge to the Internet Computer Protocol. ICP is the only current layer 1 that can serve as a cheap, scalable layer 2 for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. You see what is happening with Solana now that they have figured out the DeFi world? Every day, more and more DeFi infrastructure is being built and deployed on ICP. They do not yet have the meme coin that has driven adoption to their platform. If we can nail this bridge, which I have no doubt we will, backed by a monster press release and marketing blitz, we could bring some insane momentum to that blockchain. The highest meme coin over there is a token called Ghost, and I think it's around an $8 million market cap. On top of the bridge, the community also gets the deployment of a Hogified Web3 game called Bulldog Blast, which is a turn-based multiplayer deathmatch that will be playable on the Opti Games platform. It's an absolutely huge win, and congratulations to the community. And on this vote, we had the owner of the Giggle Whale wallet vote for the first time ever. This is by far the biggest holder of Hoge, and they hold 10 billion Hoge. No one knows who it is, but it's fun to see that they're paying attention in the background and support the things our community supports. So now feel free to promote OptiSwap.pro to any ETH DeFi token community you are in. I can make a custom video for their community so they can understand the benefits. Also, any token can use and create their own version of BonusSwap on OptiSwap. People say $55,000 is a lot of money to spend, but BonusSwap is by far the best place to buy Hoge since you get an extra 4.5% on your swap. So if our Hoge position continues to grow and we can keep this funded and continue to be the best place to buy Hoge, and in turn earn the Hoge DAO wallet more volume fees. Last week, we also had the surprise bull marketing proposal vote pass. This vote is to spend $5,000 promoting a custom-made catchy video, Hoge video on the X platform. And in typical Hoge fashion, we hit another hiccup. Looney, who runs the Hoge Twitter account, will explain the process we are going through now.
So I gained access to the Twitter to be able to do the ads because it's not actually in the app, it's in a different browser. It's like the ad Twitter, or it's the ad section of X or whatever it is. And it turns out we have a violation from back in July 2021. And it was an old, you wouldn't believe it, old Hoge BSC pancake swap post. And that's what we're getting cleared up. But so they were saying it's got to do with DeFi services and like all the typical crypto related advertising products. Now they're saying financial services, but we're going through an ad review process to get the current one that the person who created the proposal. We're going to go through and get those pre-reviewed and go through their pre-review ad process to make sure it's done right. But yeah, it's just been one hiccup after another.
Say it ain't so, Looney. Say it ain't so.
Well, it wouldn't be Hoge if it went easy.
Well, even if it did work, we wouldn't have a website to direct anyone to. So,
oh, that could be actually a factor too.
That we don't have the proper .com linked.
Yeah, to it, like with the official link. So everything. Yeah, I didn't actually think of that. So that could be. Yeah, now that you've mentioned that could be. But it doesn't really say anything except it's just financial services. I've got the email correspondence between them, and that's what they highlighted. But hopefully, with this ad review process, they'll be able to go through it, and it should be all right. Because from what Hoge said, and he's looked into it, it should be all clear. So I think it's just a matter of getting this violation and getting what they want sorted. But we're getting there.
Once we're through it, and we're in the clear, and we're good to go. So It happened at a good time.
And then we'll be able to continuously do it after this too, if it's successful and does gets numbers.
Perfect. All right, perfect. So, this delay is also allowing us to get the Hoge website update taken care of. We had a few people last week mention they would be willing to throw money towards the development of a new, well-made Hoge website. And the good news is we have moved forward with a website developer who has shown us some sneak peeks, and we got a really good price of $2,500. The bad news is the people that said they would donate disappeared, of course. We did have one community hero step up and donate $150 to the cause, so much appreciated. Worst case scenario, I will be using the marketing budget I have to get this covered. Having a website that represents Hoge and everything we have built and accomplished in a fun, stylish way is worth every single penny. The goal is to have this up and running by next weekend. We will let everyone know the decision on what .com we are going to fully commit to, or .net or Hoge.finance. There's like 3 options. And if we can't buy the .com off them, then we are just going to stick with whichever one, or we can even keep all 3 and just link it all to the same website. But once we are officially committed and this new website's deployed, it will be constantly updated on every single vote, every new announcement, all the proper information. You'll have a one source of proper information. So again, we are very excited about this, and it looks very cool. But things brings us to the topic of our current active vote, having a small community budget to get things we need done faster and to take advantage of momentum when it comes. We currently have a vote live called Hoge Leadership Update Plus Budget. It already has 28 billion of the 36 billion needed to get us to quorum. Hey, Gigawhale, if you're listening, you can be the Hoge hero again and vote. Ha ha ha. But let me quickly read through the vote so everyone understands what is being proposed and what we are voting on. The original Hoge Constitution leadership vote was intended as a short-term solution to be revisited at the future date. Now, nearly 2 years later, we believe it's long overdue to refine and clarify the structure. We believe a fresh multi-layer approach is necessary to reflect the dynamics of a decentralized and community-run project. As the final signers for meaningful on-chain fund usage, the 3 key holders of the Hoge DAO wallet will comprise the core leadership. Myself, Jersey Rack, Sam, Looney Corp, who's also here, Kane, and Collab, who again is also here every week, Luke, have proven themselves to the community over the last 2 years and are publicly doxxed. They are responsible for executing the will of the collective community as defined by the 10% quorum vote. To empower the key holders to make expedited decisions, we propose a max $5,000 monthly discretionary budget to be used solely for fostering the growth and development of Hoge. This budget will not accumulate month to month and does not need to be spent fully each month. Any larger spends must pass the usual quorum vote process. But having funds that can be accessed quickly can help Hoge momentum when it comes. In the interest of transparency and accountability, we propose the introduction of a group known as the Hoge Advisors. This group will be formed by an open call and community vetting of long-term members. The group size, not including key holders, will be at least 7, but no more than 12. And the membership may vary over time depending on participation. These Hoge advisors do not need to publicly dox if they prefer not to. The main function of the advisory role is to have veto power over discretionary spends. Core leadership will describe the exact nature and amount of any expenditure and provide a 24-hour window for advisors to review. If 50% or more of the advisors give a thumbs down react, then the spend is considered disapproved. If this vote passes quorum, this $5,000 budget will start April 1st and continue for 3 months, April, May, and June. At the end of 3 months, the budgets will be reassessed and a new vote will be launched based on community feedback. I know that was a lot. But basically, you are voting on a max of $15,000 to be spent over the next 3 years to be used quickly when needed. So if we want to do a marketing ad, we want to get something updated on the website, we want to hire an influencer, this decision can be made. It's not the key holders bringing the idea to the advisors. It's the community proposing ideas, and then we have a set group that can decide if that makes sense, and that will bring positive momentum to Hoge. So please, if you haven't voted yet, you can find the link, tweet it out here, post it on Telegram, Reddit, and Discord. You can also go to snapshot.org and search Hoge Zone to find the current and past votes. Being a DAO is how we get things done. And if we are able to unlock a small monthly budget that can be used properly, these little headaches and annoyances we come across as a community can be easily fixed and don't need to drag on like they do now because we have no budget. And by creating an advisory board that oversees the checks and balances of every dollar spent, the community can have complete confidence in this structure. Anything over $5K a month will still have to go through a quorum vote from the community. And the last thing I wanted to touch on quickly is Hoge community member Cash's project he is working on for the community. I am just pulling stuff from the Medium article he posted. He said he will join the wrap-up report next Friday or the following Friday to break it down in his own words. But basically, he is launching Hoge on the Blast network and calling it Blast Hoge, which from what I understand is currently the fastest growing layer 2 on Ethereum. This will be an entirely different Hoge token, which just like all of you, we have extremely bad memories of all the other ecosystem tokens that have tried to bring value to Hoge, like Virtual Pangea, HOW, Ego, which is now Vault Sale. They all tried to say they were bringing value to Hoge, but none actually did. And in fact, most hurt our token drastically. But if you tuned into the wrap-up report where Cash joined to talk about his marketing proposal vote he launched to the community that sadly did not hit quorum, you could tell what a major effect Hoge has had on his life and that his passion for the token has never left. This is completely different than what that fake soul Hoge group is currently doing. Cash has a plan to instantly bring value to every single person that holds Hoge. From his article, he is going to airdrop 40% of the Blast Hoge supply to all current ETH Hoge holders based on the amount of Hoge they hold. He will be excluding the Burn wallet and the exchange wallets and giving an additional 10% of Blast Hoge supply to the Hoge DAO wallet. So no matter how big the Blast Hoge token grows, the DAO and ETH Hoge holders will benefit from it at the same time. I know. It sounds like everything else we heard with a lot of promise for us Hoge holders. But at the same time, he seems to be deep in the DeFi streets and can bring a few big connections to both versions of Hoge. I don't want to go any more in depth on this. I want the details to come out of his own mouth for everyone to hear. But I know many of you are like me, and you bought HOW, and you bought Ego, and you might hold a VP NFT, a Virtual Pangea NFT, just like me, thinking you were helping Hoge. We have been hurt in the past, but I'll always support anything that brings positive energy to Hoge, and this one sounds way different than any of the others, in my opinion. But this is crypto, and who the hell knows? But that's all I got. Little fun fact to leave you with. This week, we burned 146 million Hoge this week. So this month is going to be a pretty significant burn total.
Whoa.
But that is all I got. Anything for you, Looney?
No, you covered everything, man. It was awesome.
I know it was a lot. And we got a little Rory update in the beginning. That was a nice surprise.
Oh, it was a good one.
Oh, yeah. Very exciting. So if you haven't voted, go vote on the leadership plus budget vote. And hopefully we get this Twitter ad figured out. And that will, once we have it all figured out, the community will know when we start them so that you guys can also see what it brings to the, as far as volume goes and community interaction. But that's all I got. I will see you in the chats.
Have a good one, bro.
You too, man.